What's up everybody, and welcome to an ArtistBoozey video. If you're new around here, I'm Boozy, and we like to get fun with art and creativity. So if you like that sort of thing, you should totally stick around. You might find something you like, and you might not. That's alright if not. But, in today's video, as you can see by the title, we are painting a custom spray can. Yes, another one. I'm not sorry for that, but we are doing The Exorcist, as you can see by the creepy lady behind me. And the inspiration for this is so crazy how it came about. I was planning for an event and was just randomly spraying spray paint cans so that I could have extra ones, and I didn't end up getting to them. I ran out of time. And this one is going to be the Exorcist can, but I also thought about doing Barbie on this and a Lisa Frank one on this. I think that would be so sick because I love Lisa Frank from when I was a child. If you have an idea for this one, comment it down below and it might become reality. But before I talk your ear off, this is the can, and the inspiration is I was just going with purple. And I splattered some blue on there, and I kind of thought it, this is going to sound very disgusting, but I thought it kind of looked like vomit splattering on there, so I thought it would be perfect and a perfect background for The Exorcist, even though it's not lime green. But I'm going to add one portrait here, and then a portrait of her levitating, and then like the lime green eye. And I think the lime green is going to add a great touch. And I also want to kind of put some text on there, like the Exorcist and the Exorcist logo, or like graffiti in lime green. We'll just see where our imagination takes us and where we end up. But without any further ado, let's get into this video, shall we?
ArtistBoozey coming at you, and this is the before. I'm just showing you the before with the outline on there so we can see what it looks like before we start throwing some paint on there. The first step in a lot of my videos is taking a white acrylic paint marker or white paint in general on a paintbrush and doing a base coat. Basically, it's like a primer so that the paint really pops on the can itself. I'm just going over everything and leaving a little bit of a line where I can see where all the details are because I get very lost in the design sometimes, so that's why I leave a little crack where the lines are. Shaping in the hair. I'm trying to do a little bit more videos than just Chucky because I know I get a little bit carried away with the Chucky videos. I absolutely love Chucky. So now we're doing The Exorcist to have a little bit of different theme in there this season. I like the idea of having her levitating and then her head backwards and then the eye just has something on the other side. As to just the regular portrait. Spoiler alert! I actually didn't go in with the text like I said I was going to. I didn't really know where to add it in there. It's never too late to add something in there though, so I could one day, but we'll see. I went in with the peach tone for her skin and it didn't show up at all, so it's definitely going to need a second or a third coat. And I did a little bit of lime green on her eyes and now some brown for her hair, just putting in a base so I can go in and add details over top of it later when it dries. Here's a second coat of the lime green. Sometimes when painting on metal I have to do multiple layers of paint because it just don't go on very good. Maybe I need to prime it with something else or maybe sand it, but I didn't really want to scratch it up. I'm also using a heat gun to cheat because I'm very impatient and don't want to wait for paint to dry. Going in with some light brown tan color to shape in all the shadows on her skin. I kind of wish I went a little bit darker with the eyes because she had black circles on her eyes, but I didn't. Sometimes in your life, you gotta stop and give your dog some love. When I paint, he gets mad that I'm not giving him attention, so he sits on my lap and I give him cuddles. I love him. Love you, baby. Shaping in the lips. I cheated here too with a marker a very thin point Sharpie because I absolutely suck with details. I'm just going to be honest with you. Small details, I mean, not just details in general, but when it's really, really small, I struggle to get them thin lines, so I cheated and used a marker. But it's okay because I use the clear gloss over top of it to seal it all in, and it will be safe. Now I'm doing some red on the wounds. I'm actually using my airbrush paint for this because I didn't like the way the red paint was laying, so I got my airbrush Createx paint. I'm adding a little bit of dabs of white and then cleaning my paintbrush off and going in with a dry brush and just patting it into the skin color to blend it in. And ew, let's make them wounds look real disgusting with some yellow on there. I also go in with peach over top of all them wounds to kind of tone them down because they were a little bit too, I don't know, dark, bright. They didn't match the color of the portrait, so we needed to kind of blend it in a little bit. Now I'm going in with black on the hair. Just a little bit of details. You just gotta layer and layer and layer. It's a lot of back and forth and putting it down, looking at it. This needs to be here, this needs to be here. Nothing's ever really complete when you're an artist. You can always use something more. I'm doing the flyaway hairs. And now these other two portraits. I wanted these to look really realistic like the portrait, but it was a lot of small details. It was getting really late. I needed to get to bed, and I was getting very, very frustrated with the little details, so I ended up going in with a Sharpie here in a couple minutes. The eye turned out really sick, though, in the end. I think the can overall looked pretty good. I just was getting very irritated with the small details. I don't know why I always do that to myself. I think it's going to look cool, and I believe in myself, and then I do that, and I'm like, this looks like kind of poopy, so maybe I shouldn't do that. I'm just beating myself up about it a little bit. It's probably fine. I feel like the black just stands out too much on these portraits. These smaller ones. Maybe if I went in with like a light white and toned it down. Maybe I'm just overthinking it and it actually looks fine. I don't know at this point. I had a lot of fun with the eye though. I had lime green and then added yellow in the middle to brighten it up. And then I'm using gray because your eye is actually not all the way completely white, and adding that gray gives it a little bit of more realistic touch. Here I'm doing the details with the paintbrush. Can you believe it? Little details in the eye with the actual paintbrush? Who am I? These are just some white details in the eye. Signature time, baby! And you already know I messed that up and had to redo it. I was a little heavy-handed. That's much better.
And this is the final results. I absolutely love it. It turned out super cool. I just watched this movie about a month ago before Halloween was even in. And I absolutely love the turnout. I'll give you a little close-up of the face. And if you guys like this video, you should like and subscribe and come back for some more artsy-fartsy fun. Happy spooky season, y'all!